day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sandor, Townsend, your licensed massage therapist and your certified meditation instructor. Also, avid book reader, and that was another avenue I was looking forward to explore on YouTube and kind of share and get a couple people's idea and perspective on certain books. So here I am, starting this channel. Hope to get it going. Hope we can have a nice, friendly forum and learn and grow together. So my book debut, I remember being a kid reading the Hardy Boys, but it's funny, even then, I remember reading enough to do the book report to get the free personal pan pizza, the Book It program during that time. And I read some Hardy Boys books, even the ones I did, or the parts I did read, I enjoyed, kind of like the mystery thing, and I didn't read much after that other than the sign books, and that's one of the things I hope that we start to share, because I didn't label this as for kids, but I hope parents or uncles, aunts, anybody that has that influence on a child kind of influences them to start reading, and you kind of got to see which angle you can engage with them from our collection here and see which books they were be more interested in, and you could kind of start them reading from there, because I believe it's an adventure, and I believe it broadens your imagination. You have to picture, you have to use your mind to picture the book, and that helps strengthen the imagination for kids and adults, instead of watching a lot of TV where everything
TV rots your brains.
Imagined for you. So later in my late teens, I joined the Stephen King library. I remember my cousins stayed up one night and got the number for me. I was telling them about it. I was like, because the last time I missed it, I had missed the commercial, and I was looking forward to see it again. But anyway, he caught it for me, and I joined the Stephen King library. But I don't remember reading. I read Bag of Bones. I didn't finish Insomnia. Insomnia is probably like that. I read maybe one or two of his books, but the one I remember was Bag of Bones, and I remember Salem's Lot. I remember getting it, and that one stuck because I know that edition I had. I see that it's selling now for like $1,500, but I gave it away at a thrift shop when I was moving. So some of these books are worth holding on to. But as I grew, I after high school, like the books I had accumulated at that time, I was like, hey, I better start reading these books. So I've been probably more of an avid reader, and I take breaks every now and then, probably ever since I was 19 or 20, and I'm 44 now, so covered a lot of ground from that time to this. I remember in my early 20s, I read a lot of the Black history, and I read some of those over and over again. I remember the narrative of Frederick Douglass is an awesome book that I read more than once. I read Up from Slavery by Booker T. Washington. I read The Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs. A lot of books during that time, and there's probably too many to mention here. But some of those are very engaging, but I really think to read about slavery should be if you're doing a report or something, it's great, but it's like you read about it, you learn from it, and you move on. I don't think it's something that we should teach over and over again. So after that, I read another one of my favorites was The Souls of My Brothers. That's a book I read, and it was so good I gave it away, and I was intending to get another one, but that was probably some years ago. But I'm looking for that's on my wish list to get. But as far as I think religion is a topic that we should discuss, and one of the ladies, Emily Cady, or Cady, Cady, she is a phenomenal woman. After you read the Bible, and of course some of us that can read it and comprehend it, is you realize a lot of it, as people say, you can't take it literally. It's allegory. So, and I think allegory is kind of used to make the transition of meaning go from the time the Bible was written to present day. So she breaks down the metaphysics of the Bible and how you can use it in your life. Awesome book of hers. I read that once or twice, and I'm going to read that again. And I read the Gordon Parks collection. I did a lot of Gordon Parks books. I did Flavio, My Choice of Weapons, and he's a beautiful author, and he's a director too. His one of my favorite movies to watch is a movie that he created, The Learning Tree. It was probably late 60s, early 70s, maybe that, but that was a good movie. I read a lot of his books, and then I started to get into kind of make that transition from history to good novels to self-help books or historical books, whether that history was big fan of the Ancient Alien show, so whether that history was ancient history or modern history, more so of the before Christ history, those type deals that coincide with religion. I read a lot of those, and they are more my project now than they were in my earlier years. But like another one of my favorites I read was The Four Agreements by Mr. Ruiz. That's an awesome book, and the books like that, they give you stuff to grow from. They give you stuff to learn from, and they give you stuff that's almost like you can wear the book like an armor as you go and have your being. And one of the four agreements were be impeccable with your speech. You come to a point in your life and you realize the things you speak, that's your existence. So do not make assumptions. You know, sometimes we imagine people answering us, or we imagine what people might say or think of us. So that falls under the line of don't make assumptions. So use that and don't take anything personal. I mean, we have to look at Earth. We're all here on a learning experience. And as we learn, we're going to bump into each other. And you learn not to take anything personal because we all make mistakes. And always do your best. So that goes a long way too. No matter whether you won or lose, passed or failed, if you know you've done your best, you grow from that. You don't feel down about it because that doesn't fix it. You grow from if you did your best and failed because you examined your situation, what you did, and then what you need to do better to continue to climb. So that's one of those books that I read a while ago, and I probably read it again. But that I got that from the library, so I never did own that one. And another one is the voice of knowledge. I get that confused with H.P. Blavatsky's The Voice of the Silence. But his Voice of Knowledge was another one I read. It was pretty good, but I don't have any recall memory of any of it. But he did the Four Agreements, excuse me, the Four Agreements, the Voice of Knowledge, and the Fifth Agreement, which I have that and I haven't read it yet. And still along the same lines of the self-help books, when I started to study meditation instruction, our instructor, Rinaldi, gave us Mindfulness in Plain English by Bhante Gunavartana and The Posture of Meditation by Will Johnson. And those are, I've read a lot of books on meditation. We're going to go over those. But to learn, these are, I think, the best books to learn from. And so we're going to break our channel down into some playlists, and I'll go over those, and I will be looking forward to you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed so far. You can like and share. If you read any of the books or have any books you think I should read, leave them in the comments. Our playlists are going to be short and sweet, I have that one together for you, and that's going to be out next week. We have books of knowledge. We're going to cover books like the Kybalion. We're going to read H.P. Blavatsky. He's going to have a playlist. I'm going to do an intro to her book list pretty soon. We're going to have a playlist of Hermes. And my perspective of Hermes, which I've learned from books, of course, is Hermes, Thoth the Egyptian, and Enoch are all the same people, and we'll discuss that later, and that's one of the topics of the Kybalion. We're going to later on we're going to have a playlist about the church, books, and history. Then what else do we have here? One of the books I've enjoyed reading, it's like 500 or 600 pages long, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and they cover different perspectives of older religions that the religions nowadays kind of can find their foundational roots in, or the practice of it. And they talk about the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, all kinds of ancient, old-fashioned philosophy. It's more of a book of philosophy, I should put it that way. And also holistic health. Being a massage therapist and meditation instructor, I believe there are a lot of things that we can learn that make the minute whole of our existence. If you fix so many minute parts of the whole, we can begin to have a different experience and go about life and look at it in a different way. I'm looking forward to us growing together, us learning together. I appreciate you on this journey with me. I think none of the books I have are an offense to kids. So if it's something that parents want to do with their kids, or uncles, aunts, older brothers, we all can make it happen. I look forward to us growing together. Like, share, love you, be well.